Another blanket stitch variation for you now. So I'm going to show you a whipped blanket stitch. So I'll just run through the blanket stitch again. There is a video on that stitch alone if you want to pop and have a look at that, but I'll just run through it quickly. So start in the bottom left hand corner, make this one a bit taller I think, the top in through the loop and pull your loop tight so you make your L shapes. You can see it in this one here. And we're going to work a row of that first, and then we'll come back and whip around the bottom row like so. So make my little L shapes to make my blanket stitch, using two different colours now so that they the whipped part shows up nice and clearly. Get rid of that knot out of the way. Making it a bit taller than this one, so you can choose how high you make them and how wide apart you make them as well. Lots of things you can do with this stitch. Remember, tension it down towards yourself. Check out the video for a more detailed description of this blanket stitch. Just going through this quickly so I can show you the whipping part. So I'll make this the last one up inside the loop, pull it tight towards yourself, and don't forget to finish it off. You just need to catch that loop down, so I'm going to go back down the other side of it with my thread. Get that out of the way. So there's my row of blanket stitch, and I'm going to whip around that bottom row like so. So you can do it with the same colour if you just want to thicken up the bottom part, or you can do it with a nice contrasting colour. So I'm going to use this mauve colour. It doesn't really matter which end you start. I'll start at the same end, and I'm coming up in the same hole that I started. And I'm just going to whip this thread now around this part of the stitch here. So go the same way each time. It doesn't matter if you go top to bottom or bottom up to the top, going underneath. It's best if you use a tapestry needle for this, because you're not going through the fabric, you're just going around the thread, and the blunt end of the needle, just make sure it doesn't catch on the thread. So I've whipped around that one, going under each one, so just slide the needle underneath that part of the stitch, from going bottom to top, back over the top, like so, and we're whipping that thread around the stitch. It's just got it caught there. All the way along. Get kind of a candy stripe around that stitch. You make sure you go the same way each time. The last one there. And that's whipped stitch. Like so. So very simple. Work your buttonhole, your blanket stitch, first, and then whip along the bottom with a different colour or the same colour to thicken that up and give a decorative stitch. So that's whipped blanket stitch.